Hello, my loves, and welcome back. As you have seen from the title, this is all about imposter syndrome, and I want to share a couple key things that will really support you in breaking free, as well as invite you into a quantum healing hypnosis activation that I have just recorded for this. But before I get into the activation itself, let's talk about imposter syndrome and what's actually going on, because I see this a lot. I am no stranger to this. Every single chapter in my life and big pivot or big up level has had imposter syndrome attached to it. And I personally feel like it's not something we ever outgrow or can escape completely. It's something you can just learn how to be aware of and how to manage. So whether it has been in career paths and paths of university, like what I was studying at different times. I jumped from college to university to university to college to different courses to different things. I was going to go study zoo animal technology in Florida, and then I left my volleyball scholarship to backpack the world for a year, and then I came back and started my paper company business selling paper made out of elephant poo. And then I was going to be a yoga teacher and work at hostels around the world teaching yoga. And then eventually I compiled everything into my online coaching business and started my Thrive program. From there, diving into quantum healing hypnosis and co-authoring a best-selling book and so many different business ventures over the years. And literally every single time I struggled with imposter syndrome, because at the core base of that, imposter syndrome is just a disconnect between who we currently are and who it is we want to be. So I really want to just break it down into my current self before achieving something and the materialized version of me, right? The future self. Or a lot of times I speak about your higher self, because your higher self is all encompassing and therefore you've already successfully achieved it, right? But for the premise of this quick little video, I'm going to talk about it as your future self. So it's really about looking at how can you bridge the gap from who you currently are and who it is you want to be, or what you currently have and what it is you want to have or achieve, right? The only reason you feel uncomfortable, or you feel doubt, or you feel anxiety, or you feel like an imposter is because you're still living in the old level of consciousness and you're still living in the old identity. So when I started my YouTube channel and my Instagram account, and I was putting myself out there as a coach for the first time, I had insane imposter syndrome because my current identity was someone who had dropped out of university, done all this traveling, done all this healing work in her own life, but pivoted a million times, right? I had no successful business experience, no successful real coaching experience. So to see myself, and I had major insecurities around showing up on camera, side note. So to see myself as successful in that made me feel like a major imposter because I hadn't done any of it yet. So there was a very big gap between current self and desired self. Now, what we can do and what I am guiding you through in this specific quantum healing hypnosis that I have uploaded into my monthly membership, and you can get access to it either by joining the monthly membership for $33.33 each month, or there is a link beneath this in the description for the activation by itself for $55.55. So inside this activation, what I'm helping you do is eliminate that gap. So where you're currently feeling a disconnect, like my example, and you can put yourself in the shoes of whatever your current situation is. Maybe it's wanting to manifest a really healthy relationship, but your current self has never experienced that before. So you feel like an imposter, even though you desire it so badly. There's a part of you that feels like it's not possible, or you're not worthy, or how could you even know what that looks like, because you haven't had that yet, right? You feel like an imposter to the grand level of love that you want. But when we get into the quantum realm, and when we elevate out of your present physical body and your present moment awareness, we connect to your higher self, we connect to God consciousness, we connect to everything that exists across the universe, and you're in this space where there is no time, right? There is no limit. It feels like you're just floating there, one with everything. That is when you can then start to plant the seeds that support you in your desired reality. So for me, whether that was planting the seeds of confidence on camera and believing that my voice could come through and that I could show up on stories or show up on a YouTube video and share things, or whether it was seeing myself as the version who already had a successful coaching business and had her first 10K month. And that's actually how I had my first 10K launch in my business, was because I was doing this without realizing what I was doing. I was future pacing. I was getting out of the imposter small self and really tapping into the version of me who had already done it. Seeing like, oh, if this was my normal, if that level of success or that level of confidence or that healthy relationship or that dream business, if that was already your normal, if it had been your normal for months or years, there would be a different embodiment. You'd feel very grounded. You'd probably show up in the world way, way differently than you currently are. And when we get into the quantum realm, and when you're in a state where your subconscious is very open and very receptive, you can program this in with the hypnosis piece of the work that I do, where you are then able to ultimately hypnotize yourself in this state of being so that you see yourself from the desired reality. And that's why in only 15, 20, 30 minutes of doing this, when you open your eyes after, you feel like a completely different person, because you are shifting your energetic signature and shifting anything that's blocking you or keeping you kind of stuck in an old energy. And then you're also reprogramming those pathways in your brain. So where you're constantly saying, I'm not good at this, or I'm this identity, right? I'm just a university dropout with nothing to offer. That was my story for a long time, because that's what I felt everyone else thought about me. That's the judgment I perceived from other people. And so using the hypnosis to create the new pathways and the new stories of, I'm really successful at this. I'm amazing at business. I'm super smart at what I do. I have so much to offer people, right? I've seen the transformation in my own life, and now I get to support other people with this. How incredible, right? And tapping into, I've already helped hundreds of people. I've already done this for ages. So it just feels like ease. It feels normal, it feels second nature. The second you get into that frequency, you've eliminated any imposter, right? There's no room for the imposter when you've already been doing it. And this is why this work is so powerful, no matter what it is you're stepping into or what level. Because as I said, the same thing happened for me again years later when I was wanting to write a book. And I had all the stories of the old self. And I felt like an imposter. Who am I to think that I can be a best-selling author? Who am I to think that my story matters? Who am I to think that it's possible to even be published or have any kind of success in this realm? If I would have given power to those stories, I would have never done it. And who knows where I would be right now instead. And it makes me sad to think about that. So I don't want you to stay in this place of giving power away to a story that doesn't serve you and a version of you that you've outgrown. Okay? So as I said, this is a quantum healing hypnosis that I've just uploaded into my monthly membership. If you are interested in joining me in there, you get really close access to me, and it would be incredible to grow with you and to support you more in all of your goals. So inside the monthly membership, I drop in daily downloads for you every single day with things that can support you and keep you on track There are weekly quantum healing hypnosis activations for you, like the one here specifically about imposter syndrome. And every single month I do a live Q&A coaching call where I can support you with whatever's going on. As I said, that's $33.33 per month. You get access to all past activations in there, which means that all the other ones I've done, instead of buying them separately, you can get the whole bundle, past, present, and future, as long as you are enrolled in the membership. Or if you're like, Kara, I just want this one thing. I just want to tackle this imposter syndrome. I want to dive into this. I want to bridge the gap from current self to desired self and feel confident to show up in the world as that new version of me. Then you can click the link for that single activation instead for $55.55 and get into a relaxed state. Plug in, turn it on, and really start reprogramming yourself so that you feel confident in showing up in the world as this future version of you. So either way, I will see you on the inside, and either way, I just really want you to understand that there are no limits other than the ones that you conceive in your mind. So using something like hypnosis to get those stories out of the way are what allow you to then start to see yourself however you want to. And it's one of the most powerful tools I believe that we can empower ourselves with, because you can come back and use it anytime you need for whatever goal it is you're working towards. So I hope you check this out. I hope to see you on the inside, and I will be back. I'll see you again soon. I'm sending so much love.